hope you had a good week. Today I want to share some of my experiment that I've been trying with fractional share on top of what I've been doing with M1 Finance, which is regularly investing into my account with M1. So here's a tutorial video from M1 Finance.
A pie consists of
and
slices,
I have
and
included
any of the
a
slice
link
can
to
be a
that
single
video
security or
in
another
the
pie.
comment section.
For example, this account owner wants 85% of their money in an M1 created pie set to a risk tolerance, moderately aggressive. They want 10% of their money in their stock picks, a pie that they've created. And they want 5% of their money in GLD, an ETF that tracks the price of gold. If a slice represents a pie, like in the case of this moderately aggressive slice, all we do is click on it to drill down. Here, we can see the pre-populated allocation.
So long story short, what it does is basically every time you contribute a certain amount of money to your account, M1 Finance will buy those stocks and ETFs based on the allocation of your choice. So that's what I've been doing. I've been putting money in there automatically for my bank account twice a week to invest into my pies. And M1 Finance would buy those stocks and ETFs based on my allocation on the day the money is transferred into my account from the bank. And the trades would happen at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, or if I pay extra, it could happen twice a day in the afternoon as well, but I am not paying for that. This process is actually an example of using fractional share, because if I contribute $100 into my account on any certain day, and my pie has probably 20 different stocks or ETFs, there's a good chance that this $100 wouldn't really buy any whole shares of most of those stocks. For example, if I have Apple in my account, then only, let's say, $5 or $10 will be allocated to Apple stocks, which at the current $300-ish price, $5 or $10 will only get me like probably 0.002 shares of Apple stocks. More and more brokerage companies are making fractional shares available to their clients. Most recently, from this article, that Charles Schwab is also going to roll out its own fractional share program. But it's actually a little late in the game because we already have M1 Finance, obviously, and then there's also Fidelity, Robinhood, and just to name a few. In my personal opinion, the best way of using M1 Finance's fractional share feature is to use it like a 401k.
We see M1 offers the ability to invest on a regular schedule. This person gets paid twice a month, so they've set up 2 recurring deposits, once on the 1st of the month and the second on the 16th of the month. As we scroll down, we can see that twice a month, $500 will be deposited into the M1 account. That money will be automatically invested according to the portfolio we saw, which consists of 20 different holdings. This is incredibly simple to do, but extremely powerful.
Makes a lot of sense, right? There's only one problem. In the last 2 or 3 months, the market has been really volatile. Things could happen anytime, any day. And if your contribution only happens on day 1 and day 15, then there's a good chance you'll be missing that particular day when the stocks are dropping really hard, or you are buying in the day that the market is going up a lot. I know we can't really time the market, and we shouldn't, but it doesn't mean we can't take advantage of certain market movement. That's why I've been using Fidelity to make up for what M1 Finance is missing. Here's the purchase history of Google that I have in my Fidelity account, which is around $1,300 range. And I bought some in March 5th, about $49 of it, and it's gone up by 7%. And you can see sometimes I buy almost every day or a few times a day. Sometimes I don't buy for a week or two. Sometimes I buy just $20. Sometimes I buy 2 $100 or $50. It all depends on how the market goes that day. Another example is Apple. I started buying Apple many years ago, but when the price went up a lot more and more, I started buying less and less. So when I have the fractional share option in Fidelity, I started buying fractional again. Sometimes when it went down really low, I would buy the whole share, but for other times I would just buy $10-$20 at a time. As you can see, they all gone up quite a bit since the time I bought. Like some of them went up by 20%, 30%, and some of them are just 1 or 2%. One of them is actually negative, but that was only like $1, so I'm completely fine with it. And I don't even worry about what's going to happen in the near term. I know in the long term, Apple is a very strong company. People have been saying it's going to go down since 10 years ago when I first had my Apple stocks, and it's gone up a lot since then. So I'm not really too worried about it. I'm pretty happy that I'm able to buy it just $10 or $20 at a time and accumulate it in the long term. And as you can see from this list, I've been buying fractional shares since early February. And I've been buying both fractional share and full share in the last couple of months. And I'm pretty happy with the result. Now let's go back to M1 to see what it looks like in my M1 portfolio, because I do have some pie that contains the Apple stock. And I started contributing to that pie since late January, early February, around the same time I started buying a fractional share in my Fidelity. Every week there's a very small fraction of Apple shares being bought into this account. And as you can see, so far in the last 4 months, it's only gone up by 8.8%. A lot worse than I had with my Fidelity purchases, because I didn't buy those on a fixed schedule. Instead, I bought them when the share price is really low, and the amount I spend on each purchase is also not fixed, but depending on how low the price was on that day. Comparing to using M1, which has fixed percentage of allocation and fixed time of purchase, using a fractional share with Fidelity at any time, any amount, definitely gives you a little bit of an edge. So let's look at another example of Amazon. I've been buying Amazon. Is priced at $2,400 at this point, and I've been buying it at say $50, $20, $30 at different times, and the result has been pretty good as well. You can see they have some of them are up by 44%, 28%, 29%, and something like that. So I actually still don't have a whole share of Amazon in my Fidelity account. I think I have like a 0.7 or 0.8 shares of it over the purchase of the last 3 months. And but I've been pretty happy with the result. At the same time, I think I also have an account, have a pie in my M1 Finance that contains Amazon stocks. So just let's take a look at how it is doing there. So I have a very small piece of Amazon in there. It's also accumulated over the course of the last 4 months, but it's actually losing. Fortunately, it's only 1% of that particular pie. And it's just amazing to show how over the course of 4 months, when you buy it on a fixed schedule and fixed amount, you get negative 1% growth, but with Fidelity, you got positive double-digit growth. And it's actually pretty easy to buy it in Fidelity. It can only be done on its mobile app. So you can choose, let's say Apple as an example. You can buy it. Pretty straightforward steps. You put in the symbol, the ticker, and then you decide how much you want to buy. If you want to buy in dollars, you can put in, let's say, $1, and then using either market price or limit price. So that's actually a pretty good feature for Fidelity to allow limit price for fractional share, because M1 or Robinhood, they don't really allow a limit price for fractional shares. So now you put in your price, and then you can just submit, and done. So it's pretty easy, and you can also do it with Robinhood without the limit price, which is probably meaningless if you're only spending $10. So let's look at Apple again, and we put in how much we want to buy. We put, let's say, yeah, we want to buy in dollars, and then we just put in $5 in there, and then swipe, and you're done. So this will be executed at the market price. You can also decide you want to buy 0.001 share, and then it will calculate how much money it will cost. Again, estimated at the market price at that moment. There you have it. Using this, combine it with your regular contribution to M1, there should be a better performance, especially when there's so much movement in the market in these days. So that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.